All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony Angelos, and today we are diving into the world of taxes. So you've probably heard whispers going around Chicago of the so-called mansion tax. And it's very similar and modeled off of the one based in Los Angeles, modified for Chicago. And we're going to drill into what it means, how it impacts Chicago, and honestly, how I feel about it. For those of you who are new here, my name is Tony Angelos. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, thank you for being here. Today, we're going to dive into what we know about it so far, what I think the implications are for Chicago real estate. A lot still has to happen for it to become an actual law, but Brandon Johnson, our current mayor, gave it a big endorsement, so it's very possible that it could happen. Before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you can stay informed on all things about Chicago real estate. So to be clear, the mansion tax is really just a flashy catch name. It's not specifically for mansions, but it's going to be a tax placed on any property sale over $1 million. Now in Chicago already, we have a transfer tax on all property, but what would happen if this mansion tax were to go through is that the tax rates would be tiered and altered for higher end sales and then lowered for anything under $1 million. Sounds great, but we're going to dive into what the actual implications might be and what it's actually going to look like if it's imposed in Chicago. Okay, so here's where things get a little spicy. The tax is not a fixed dollar amount on any sale, it's a percentage. So as the sale price of the property gets more expensive, so too does the tax. So here's the thing, anytime a new bill or a law gets tossed around in the US government or anywhere really, there are always tweaks. So Johnson's original plan was to raise the tax from 0.75%, which is currently paid by all buyers, to a higher rate of 2.65%. Now on $1 million, that's a $7,500 tax going up to $26,500. That is, no math major, but over triple, super high. So he abandoned that plan just as recently as a couple days ago, or about a week ago from the time of recording this video, and now he's proposing a tiered system. So the three tiers would be as follows. Transfer tax on property sales of under $1 million would be lowered to 0.6%. Transfer tax on property sales between $1 million and $1.5 million would be 2%. And anything over $5 million will be raised to 3%, quadruple the current rate. Now, you might be thinking, well, if someone's investing in a $100 million building, they can afford it. The reality is, in today's economy, it's already kind of shaky. Interest rates are at an all-time high. There's already so many complications in deal making. Adding another layer of complexity to it is only going to disincentivize, in my opinion, it's only going to disincentivize investment into Chicago and push things into the surrounding suburbs and more tax-friendly areas, really. We're already seeing it. I don't think that it's a good idea to add another layer of complexity to it. And in every situation like this, who always gets hurt the most? Usually the lower income people who can't afford it. Oftentimes this is tax, which is going to be paid by the buy side, is likely going to be passed down to the renters that are renting the spaces. So first off, by and large, most people are going to benefit from this on the buy side. Most transactions are under $1 million, so this is a plus. You know, it's going to lower your closing costs. In July, the median sale price was around $340,000 in Chicago. It's going to save you about $1,500 in your closing costs. It's going to reduce your transfer tax fee from about $3,500 to about $2,000. That's pretty good. Now, for sellers, if you're right on the edge of that $1 million mark, and in Chicago, there are a lot of properties. In fact, I'm going to look up all the sales that were within $50,000 of $1 million, $50,000 of $1 million, and put it right here. That's how many closings happened, residential closings happened within $50,000 of the $1 million mark in the past 12 months. But if you're right on the edge of that $1 million mark, you really might want to think strategically about how you price it. Now, if you're under the $1 million mark, that transfer tax is going to be burdened by both the sellers and the buyers. Anything above, so tiers 2 and 3 in the current proposal, that would only be borne by the buyers. But the big implication here is really for Chicago itself. The tax was designed to help city services, fill the funding gap, and address homelessness as well as a myriad of other things. Now, there's speculation that the new graduated rate system would generate as much as $100 million in excess for Chicago. That's all hypothetical and it looks good on paper. In reality though, I think adding that burden on the buy side, while interest rates are at a 22-year high, while mortgage demand is at a 25-year low, I don't see any reason why this makes sense right now. So there you have it. Whether you're a buyer, a seller, a developer, or someone who just lives in Chicago, it's important to know about the changing landscape and how it might affect you. The mansion tax adds a new layer to Chicago real estate, and only time will really tell how it's going to play out. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this? Let's get a discussion going down below in the comments. I want to hear what Chicago thinks about this tax and how it's going to play out. And as always, if you found this video helpful or insightful, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you're looking to buy or sell in Chicago before the tax takes effect, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you and see if we're a good fit to work together. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.